141. Oh, I went the wrong way. Okay. I need to get over, guys. Now, where am I going? Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Nobody's gonna let me over. Come on, come on. Thank you. One more. One more. 3 more. 2 more. Come on, go, 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 go. Oh, come on. I'm an idiot. Did I go the wrong way? Oh, no. Okay. No, I didn't. No, I didn't. I'm not an idiot. Yay. Hi guys, it's PJ and I'm going to the doctor. So I'm doing a car vlog. Don't worry, I'm going to change the way this setup is so you don't have to look at me through here. Anyway, lots to talk to you about. Want to see the coolest sunglasses in the world? These are like the coolest sunglasses in the world. I just got out of the doctor and swallowed water the wrong way. Don't you love that? Love it! So he wants to get an MRI done to my phalanges, my little fingies, and see what's going on in there, but I haven't done anything about the back yet. I did get my hip replaced. I've had shots in my ankles for years. This is all me bitching just because I happened to be going to the doctor today. That's what he did. He said, let's try to figure out why these 2 fingers aren't working. You know, I never had a physical fight in my life. There's a story for you. So, like, everybody I know has beat the shit or been beat up or at least had a fight with someone. Like a physical fight. I've never had a physical fight my whole life. And you would think with my mouth I would, you know? You would think with my mouth, like, I would have gotten into tons of, like, barroom fights or brawls or something. I just never did. I hated fighting. Even as kids, I didn't like it. I don't like, if you don't like somebody, why would you put your hands on somebody? So I'll tell you a funny story real quick. This is funny. So my neighbor, right, we'll call her Sarah. That's not her name, but we're going to call her Sarah. And she had a little kid named, we're just going to call the little kid Brat. Okay? And he was just a bratty kid. I mean, he turned out to be a really good man, but he was a bratty kid. Like, oh my God. Like the shit they had to do for this kid. He once climbed on the apartment building we lived on. This is after I left my husband. He climbed on the roof of the apartment building and the fucking fire company had to come and get him off because there's no way to get him off. We didn't even know how he got up there. I have no idea this day how he got up there. It was like so tall. So his mom used to drink in the morning. Okay, Sarah used to drink in the morning. And so so my kids were little stair steps. They were like 7th grade and 3rd grade and 4th grade or something like that. So the laundromat, you had to take the car and drive down to the bottom of the hill to go to the laundromat and then drive back up to the apartment. So I tell my kids, like, don't let anybody in. I'll be right back. I'm going to run this stuff down to the washer. So I run down to the washer, dump all my stuff, clothes in there, and I come back. And when I come back, they're all standing against the outside of the apartment building, staring at me like this. So I'm like, what's the matter? And they're like, oh no, like, Mom, you're going to be so upset. And I said, why? And they say, Brat, who I'm just going to say Brat went and stole his mom's 40, like a 40. And he was filling up his mouth with it, shaking his head and spitting it all over my living room. I'm like, well, first off, I was mad because I was like, why would you let him in? Like, I'm not home. Like, honestly, I was just down the corner, but nonetheless, I'm not there. And they're like, we're sorry, we don't know what to do, but it smells like beer in the living room. Okay, so I go up to Sarah and I knock on her door because I want to tell her, like, if my kid was running around with a 40, I would want somebody to tell me. So I go up and I knock on the door and she answers the door. She's in a t-shirt with her cigarettes rolled in her, like, white t-shirt sleeve. And she's like half drunk. It's like 10:30 in the morning. So I'm like, hey, Sarah, just FYI, Brat has one of your 40s and is like, I don't know if he's drinking it or he's just spraying it all over my house. She's like, all right, I'll take care of it. So I said, thanks, not thinking anything of it. So she leaves, or I leave. And then I go back down for the laundry and I come back up and he's sitting on my little front stoop and he has 3 frogs. We live next to a pond. He had 3 frogs and they are upside down, like laying on their backs. And he's sharpening a lollipop or a popsicle stick like this on the ground. And I said, Brat, what are you doing? And on my step again. And he says, I'm gonna put the popsicle stick up the frog butts. So I said, you can't do that. And he looks straight up at me and says, yes, I can. I broke their legs. Oh my God. I said, you go take those frogs and put them back in the pond. I mean, I don't know if the frogs drown. I don't know what happens to broken leg frogs, but I just wanted them off my porch and not to have to worry about broken frog legs. And I'm like, and you get to your mother, da, da, da. Well, she was standing out, like, my apartment was on the ground floor and hers was across the parking lot of, like, just like a little parking lot. And up one balcony straight across from me. So she's on the second floor. So she's on her balcony and hears me yelling and she's like, what's the matter? And I said, Sarah, this just happened. I said, you better come get him. Like, he's having a bad day. So she marches her ass, still drunk, down to him and grabs him up by the shirt and he's just like wheeling his feet in the air. And I told the boys, throw the frogs back in the pond, like hopefully they'll be okay, or put them by the pond. And that was that. Well, I guess he got his little ass kicked or whatever. So a friend of mine came over and he was a friend of my oldest son's and we used to call him Visa John because he had really nice stuff and he loved me. Anyway, long story. But anyway, so Visa John comes over with his brand new IROC. Yeah. So, I mean, brand new, like, from the dealership. Brat decides that he's mad at me for telling. So he gathers up rocks and he goes to these bushes next to my apartment and he starts chucking them at the brand new car in my driveway. Well, one of the other neighbors sees this and comes and knocks on the door and says, not for nothing, but Brat was just over there and he was just throwing rocks at this car here and he just took a big chunk of paint off the car. And he did, man. And Visa John was so mad. So Visa John flips out and calls cops. Like, he's like, I want to report, this is getting fixed. I mean, he just bought a brand new car. So the cops come and I explain everything, you know, I explain what happened and this is what happened. The kids had him in a bad day, to say the least. And so they go up and knock on the door for the mother and the mother won't come out. She's like, not going to open the door. She's fucking drunk. So I'm like, all right, whatever. Well, so they write up a report so Visa John can give it to his insurance company and get the car fixed. So then Visa John leaves and I'm sitting by myself in my apartment and all of a sudden I hear like, so I'm like, what the hell is all that? So I walk out my front door and Sarah's on the balcony and she is flipping the fuck out. You and me, we're gonna go. That's it, we're going. I'll fuck you up. I said, you and me? And by now, all my neighbors are out. It was like singles back then. It was like all these, you know, 30-year-olds with their kids and no spouses and that kind of thing in that part of the complex. We were all kind of similar in age. So I was like, you and me? And she's like, yeah. I was like, ugh, I can't. I said, look, fighting you would constitute me getting close enough to you to smell your sweat. And I just can't do stuff like that. And everybody in the parking lot, fell the fuck out. Of course, she didn't like that much. So, as you can imagine, she just wanted to jump off the fucking balcony at me. So I ran in my house. I was like, "Rah!" The chicken comes out. I was like, "No, no, no. We don't do the touchy thing. No." And I ran back in my house. She was like, "I'm gonna fuck you up." I said, 911. 911 is right around the corner. So, of course, she sobered up the next morning, and since then we've been friends. Like, not friends, but like I see her in town. She's fine. Like, her, you know, she's a good person. So, and he turned out to be a really good person. Like, he's like straight A student, this and that, and he like did all the right things. So, I mean, it was just a bad day. I mean, it's a little psycho that the kid was killing fucking bullfrogs. But yeah, so I don't fight. I always use my voice, my mouth, and it gets me in trouble sometimes. It really does. Like, some people really don't like that. And sometimes, honestly, like Twitter, I like tried to delete my Twitter last night. I'm like embarrassed at how nasty I got on it. So I'm trying to delete like some of the comments I made, because that's not really who I am. But god damn it, nothing makes me madder than what's going on in this government right now. Nothing makes me more angrier. Nothing messes with me more than racial divide. And man, if you know anything about me, I am like such an ogre when it comes to that. So I'm having a hard time getting my temperament under control with this administration. Like, I wouldn't have cared. I wouldn't even have, like, I didn't care when like Reagan and Bush Jr. like, yeah, they, you know, people mess with me with Bush Jr. because I tried to talk him out of it. But I said to him, like, so they used to call me Mrs. Hussein on the loudspeaker at work. Yeah, because that was funny. Anyway. But, you know, but I didn't hate it the way I do now. I didn't feel the feelings that I do now. I didn't even know I was that patriotic, like that extremely, like a mother bear about my country, until I felt it really threatened. And, yeah, so I'm trying to get rid of my Twitter. Don't go running to look at how rotten I was. I was rotten. Believe me. So I'm going to try to get that. I don't like putting that out in the world. You know, I don't do it as a rule. But, yeah, I've been doing it lately. And somebody asked me for my Twitter on here the other day, and I was like, man, if I'm embarrassed to give it out, then I shouldn't be doing that. So I'm going to stop. My son said that to me 2 months ago. He goes, you're going to regret what you've been saying. And I do. I regret it, because it doesn't change anything. It just adds to the heat. I think that what's going to change things is the truth. When it comes into the light, we'll see the truth. Whatever that is. I'll give it that. Whatever it is. And until then, just hold on for the ride. That's all you can do. Anyway, I'm going to go. I love you guys. If you'd like to follow me down the rabbit hole that is my life, hit the button down below and subscribe. I've got that new toy. I'm going to put it in my car so you're not looking through this anymore. Wow, 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 wow. Anyway, I know, I'm strange.